Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Chasing Daylight podcast, and we have got a good one on deck. We just had the PGA Championship. The Bank of Hope is coming to Vegas. I think there's a live event in DC. Michael Block. I mean, come on. It was just an incredible weekend of golf, and we're here to talk about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Joe's here, Jeremy's here, and we have a special guest. Let's bring him in. Mr. Pacific Northwest himself, Todd Haas. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So the reason we're bringing you on the show, you had just an absolutely incredible experience. I thought me getting to caddy in the mid-am was a pretty special deal.
Nope,
and
trash.
You basically said, that's worthless. Let me step it up a little bit here. And I'm going to go caddy in a major. Holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did this all come to be? How'd you get on Colin's bag? And let's start there.
Yeah. So I've known Colin for, I don't know, since high school. And we've just kind of talked in passing and never been really close. But his normal caddy actually backed out for him in the PGA Professional, had something come up, wasn't able to go. And that was in New Mexico almost 3 weeks ago now. So he asked me, just shot me a text and asked if I'd do it. Told him absolutely. And he goes, if we make it through, you'll be on the bag for the PGA. And he made it last year, went to Southern Hills. So I had, a pretty good idea that maybe we could do it again. But yeah, that's how it came about. It was just kind of a weird text message late at night. And all of a sudden now we're in the PGA Championship. So
unreal.
Crazy stuff.
Wow. What's his home course?
Mm-hmm. Shadow Hills Country Club. It's out here in
Shadow Hills.
It's like Junction City, just outside of Eugene. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we weren't sure if it was Emerald Valley or some other fancy place around there.
No, he was at Emerald Valley for I don't know how many years, but a few years at least as the assistant, and then took the assistant job at Shadow Hills.
Nice. So he worked his way up. And so how many times has he qualified?
This was his second time, so he's 2 for 3, I think.
Okay.
But
wow,
yeah,
that's
he should be 3 for 3, but I think some stuff happened. Yeah, he's a really good player.
Yeah, clearly. Good grief. Okay.
So good.
All right. So you win, or so what did you finish to get into Rochester?
So we finished 8th at the PGA Professional. And we were actually tied for the lead going into the 15th hole on the final day. That was pretty wild. We had played really good the whole day, literally rolled in maybe one of 10 birdie looks going up until then. He hit the ball real close all day. We really should have probably won that tournament by 3 or 4 strokes. But yeah, 15th hole, kind of had a hiccup and stumbled our way in, but it was pretty stress-free since we had such a clear shot over the cut line. But yeah, we finished 8th place there.
So cool. I mean, so Todd, I know you don't normally caddy. Like, what went into like preparing for it for you? Like, even in like you going through the PGA like qualifiers, like, were you like YouTubing or how much time in advance did you have, and like what did you do? I mean, because obviously caddy is super important in a situation like that.
Yeah, so my buddy Danny, I've known him for forever, and he's actually been a caddy quite a few times. So I picked his brain, and then there's a couple people that had caddied for, one guy caddied for a girl going through the Q school for the LPGA. So I talked to him, but I didn't get to do a lot of preparation because about a week and a half before we were supposed to go to New Mexico, my back went out.
Oh.
And so I found myself laying on the floor the entire week leading up. And so my fitness wasn't great. I was going to try to, become Superman in a week. And so luckily it loosened up enough and I was able to go. But yeah, there was definitely not any preparation, which hurt at first, but we got through it.
How the calves doing?
They're hurting. Yeah, they're hurting. It's, it's my hip hurts a lot too. I've learned that carrying that bag and just bumping against you, you get kind of a
Yeah.
bruise. But it's mainly like what I learned is your feet are very important, and if you don't take care of them, they will let you know. And that was the worst part. And so I ended up having to go buy like a different pair of shoes after the first practice round this last Monday, and
Yeah.
went to like a local running store in Rochester and got some shoes, and they worked out well. But yeah, it was not ideal. So
Yeah, you
I
see a
I
lot of
learned
guys
that
wearing
during
the Hikos and the Ons and the
yeah.
Nike runners with their caddying.
Learned that during Band and Solstice
yep,
is sneaker swaps and sock swaps, like for sure, 100%. Save
yeah,
your ass.
yep, absolutely, yeah.
All right, so how was the vibe in Rochester? I mean, it's kind of it's not a huge city, but it's not a small city. You know, upper New York, upstate New York, I guess you call it.
hmm
What was it like? What was it like in the city with a major going on?
It was actually pretty crazy. So there were a billion people there, as you can expect, and we were in a pretty condensed area called Greece, just outside of, I guess, the main area where Oak Hill's located. But we stayed in a little city called Greece, about 15 minutes away from the course. And even out there, I mean, everybody had PGA signs on the walls. The airport was just decked out in PGA stuff. Um, but it was pretty booming, and it was pretty cool to see a small little city like Rochester really pumped up for that. Um, but I mean, the vibe was really good, as you asked. Like everything was really exciting. People really pumped. Everybody took pictures of our little courtesy car. So we got a Cadillac something or another, and it had PGA, on the side of it. And we were driving down the freeway, going to and from the course, and people were taking pictures of the car. And
Wow.
at one point, these kids at a stoplight rolled their window down, wanted us to roll it down. They're like, "Who's in the car?" And we rolled the window down so they could see Colin. But it was, it's cool stuff like that. And like the nice part, it didn't matter if you were Rory McIlroy or us, right? Colin Inglis, who's a stud of a player but not well known. Everybody just respected you and really liked you and appreciated what you were doing. And I think it meant a lot to the city that we were there. So
I think that's really cool that you like mentioned that it didn't really matter the player because of the insane story of Michael Block this past weekend. Like they
yeah,
embraced him incredibly. Like I would have loved for that to be you guys. Like that would have been insane.
Oh,
But like
right.
what a great story that even Colin can write his back on. Like that's insane. Like it gives hope for a lot of players out there and a lot of caddies that are just coming up. I mean that was incredible. Like so sick.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Michael
they
Block,
embraced
actually,
them.
I met him in New Mexico. Yeah, no, I met him in New Mexico when we were qualifying, and he was a really cool guy. Came up, talked to me about my Jordans that I had on. He's a Nike athlete, just like Colin is, and just really nice guy. And he ended up finishing, I think, second or third at the PGA Pro. So I wasn't really surprised to see him do really well at the PGA Championship. But
well,
yeah, heck of a guy,
he's a
really
hell of
humble.
a stick. I mean, he's got like
Yeah.
multiple California Player of the Year awards and like a ton of mini
Yeah.
hmm
tour titles. He's
Yeah.
not just a guy that got lucky one weekend. He's a baller.
Yeah.
No.
I think
Yeah,
he
he's
just had that vibe
absolutely.
this weekend and he just rode it. Like he just rode a wave and he felt it and he just rode it, which is so sick.
Yeah, his hole in one on 15 on the final day was insane.
Mm.
I mean, that's
Oh
like
my.
way to cap off your fairy tale week and have a hole in one on 15. That's insane. Just crazy.
I mean, if you wanted to write it, that's what you would ask for,
100%.
right?
Oh,
Uh,
100%.
uh, how would
It
you
was like
cap
it was
this off?
scripted.
Oh, a hole in
Yeah.
one. All right, let's make that
Yeah.
happen.
Did you stick around for the weekend
Yeah.
at
And
all
like,
or
so we stayed through Saturday, came home
okay.
yesterday. But his up and down on hole 18, I don't think he really knew what it was for, but he was short-sided left in the rough. And I don't know if you guys saw on TV how bad the rough was,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was probably 4 to 6 inches and super thick,
Yeah.
just lush. And
Chambly
your
told
ball
us a
seemed to
ton of
either sit up
times.
in it. Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah,
let
the
us know.
ball either sat up or it sat down in the rough. And he had one of those lies where it was kind of sitting down in like a little bird's nest, and hit a really good chip shot and made, what was it, like a 10-footer for par.
Mhm.
And that got him into not only, a tie for 15th,
Yeah.
so big money, but also exempt into next year's at Valhalla in Kentucky. So, I
Honestly,
mean,
that
huge
up and
putt.
down is more impressive
Oh
than the hole in one.
yeah.
Yeah.
The hole in one's luck.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit
I
a
mean,
great
there's so
shot,
many
but
people standing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, and it's so it was so cool to watch, man. And you know, I
Mm-hmm.
can't wait to watch him at
Mm-hmm.
Colonial, and he's got an RBC Canada Open. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yep.
so cool, man. Fairy tale, so sick.
Yeah. No, it was cool.
Okay, so Brooks ends up winning.
Mm-hmm.
When him and Bryson teed off on Saturday, there was a
Mhm.
lot of boos. It was the first time, and I think the guys on CBS actually said, "Wow, we didn't hear this at the Masters. We didn't hear this at the Open, except for when Ian Poulter got kind of berated." And I was
Right.
kind of surprised. I wasn't expecting that at all. What was the vibe with the live guys out there?
We're Nish and Chris, two very amateur golfers, on a quest to play the top 100 courses in the UK and Ireland, after Chris set this challenge on a drunken Saturday night in my kitchen. Join us on our frequently humorous journey of a lifetime as we grapple with the logistical and financial challenge of playing some of the best courses in the world, as well as grappling with our games, because let's face it, it's never just about playing. Sometimes the score matters too. Listen to the Top 110 Golf Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
You know what was funny is when they booed them, it was really surprising to me too, because we were in the locker room all week with the pros and everybody, and you know, Bryson was in there, Phil was in there, everybody was in there and just talking like they're friends. There was no clash, nothing, really no friction. That was all crowd, honestly, in my opinion. I think that the live guys, you couldn't really tell them apart from the PGA guys, except for the fact that they all had their like, Crusher shirt on or whatever it was. But it seemed like they were
their
being
Fiverr
more
logos.
accepted. Yeah, that they were being more accepted than they were maybe at prior tournaments. But it did seem nice. Everything felt pretty friendly.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
what it needs, and I think the media has driven
Totally.
the battle between. I mean, I'm not a fan of the product. I'm
Mhm.
not a fan of some of the golfers, but it's proof they're still sticks. They can still play.
Yeah,
I mean,
Oh yeah,
I think this past weekend like
yeah.
really like showed me that it's like media driven for sure, 100%. Because like Rory at the end,
Mhm.
I'm sure you guys saw that video where he's like,
Yep.
"Yeah, I'll hit you up later." Like the players don't really give a shit. Like you made your choice, that's cool, yeah. And some of them they probably have hard feelings against some of them because they are the driving force behind the suit or whatever the case may be, because they've invested into this.
Mhm.
But I think I think it's super media driven and super like golf content,
Mhm.
like clickbait type of shit. But I,
Yeah.
that's what I found out this weekend, and they can
Yeah.
still play. They can still fucking play.
And Strickland
Yeah,
in
I mean,
Cleveland is
we
really happy right
saw
now.
yeah, we saw Rory walk into the locker room, and Cam Smith was just sitting over in the like kind of chatting to the guy that was like doing the cleats on the shoes and stuff. And they like walked up immediately, hugged, and said, "What's up?" And it just seemed very normal. I didn't
Yeah.
really see anything. I'd tell you if I did. I wish I had seen something, but there was literally no,
Well, they
yeah,
all
no,
say that
no
they still like
drama.
play together in Jupiter, like all the time, like because they all live in that same area
Yeah,
and they all play together still. It's crazy.
Who
yeah.
was a surprise appearance wise to you? Like, because
Oh man,
you see
that's a
these,
great
yeah,
question.
you see people on TV. Like the first time I saw Webb Simpson, I was like, "You are a tiny little man." I'm not used to seeing these people, live like this. So, what was a surprise for you?
Yeah. So it's funny you mentioned Webb. We played with Webb our first practice round day on Monday, and he's tiny. He's a twig. Like on
Yeah,
TV, he doesn't look big, but he doesn't look skinny, and he's absolutely tiny. Probably like wears a 29 pant. Um, but the biggest like surprise for me was Phil, actually. So Phil looks like he's lost like 50 pounds. He's an absolute stick. Like he looks unhealthy almost. Um, but he was, just super tan and looks like he just lives in a tanning bed, but he was really, really, really skinny. But he was really surprising to me because I was expecting to see something else. And when
It's
I
his
when I met him
coffee.
and I said hi to him, yeah, I said hi to him. I was like, man, you are really, really skinny. But yeah, Phil, and then the other one, definitely the other one is John Rahm. So I don't know if you guys have seen John Rahm in person, but he's really tall
Big dude.
and actually pretty fit. Yeah, he's actually pretty fit.
Hmm.
And he's an interesting guy, but that was fun.
So was it kind of like I mean, not like starstruck or in awe, but was it sort of like you see all these guys just walking around at the range, they walk by in the locker room, you're just kind of like, holy crap, I am sitting here with these guys right now.
Yeah. So we got to the course Monday morning, like early, to get our passes and register. And, they give you like a credential with a badge and it has like all your little labels on it where you can and can't go. And Colin and I had access everywhere, which was really cool. But yeah, the first day I was just kept telling myself, like, why am I here? Like, I don't belong here. Like, these guys are all millionaires. They're all pro golfers, people I've watched on TV for years. And it took a little bit for that to sink in. And I remember when we got up to our tee to the tee for the practice round, they don't set like who you're going to play with. They don't have tee times. You just walk up and whoever's there, you play with them. So Colin and I walked up to the first tee and we were like inside the ropes and I felt really awkward being there. And I told Colin, I was like, dude, this feels so weird. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah. And Webb Simpson is just standing there and he's just like, you guys want to play? And we're like, yeah. So we're playing with Webb Simpson. And then right as we're like getting ready to tee off, Victor Hovland walks down the stairs and he's like, hey, you guys mind if I join? And I was just like, I looked at Colin and I was like, dude, this is unreal. We've been here for an hour and now we're playing with Webb Simpson and Victor Hovland. And that was just, it was incredible. But yeah, definitely starstruck 100% for most of the day, Monday at least.
That's when you turn up your dick meter to 100 and go, nah, we're good, bro.
No, man,
you know, you'd never do that, but it would be so funny.
So cool.
Yeah, no, I didn't say anything. Colin was like, yeah, let's play. And I remember we were just walking down hole one and we're just like looking at each other like, this is insane.
Was there any bets going on?
But no, I didn't actually see any betting. Didn't hear of any betting. I know we didn't. I mean, most of the people we played with that like on the practice rounds, you only played 9 holes for the most part. But yeah, I didn't hear or see any betting. But
I mean, that must have been like just like a master class in some stuff, like obviously Colin's a great player, right? But did you notice anything like different, like the sound of a bunker shot? Like when we played with Harry Hall out at Paiute, like the sound of the bunker shot really like blew my mind. Like that's what a bunker shot's supposed to sound like, Like, did anything surprise you with their play?
So I'm going to be brutally honest, and this is 100% like my true feelings. When we played with Victor Hovland and Webb, Victor's ball sounds a little different. He hits it harder. But we played with Sung J M, Taylor Pendrith, Ryan Fox, bunch of good players. And what I noticed with Colin versus them, because that was something I was doing, is kind of sizing him up, seeing like where's the difference in the level of play.
Totally.
Dude, Colin hits the ball just as good as those guys. He doesn't hit it as far as some, but he hits it as far as Webb and things like that. But like the sound of Colin's golf ball when he hits his irons, the sound in the bunkers, the sound of his chip shots, his putts, everything was identical. And what I took away from this whole experience was like Colin could go pro, like actual pro. And he's got the game. We shot 1 over on Friday and bogeyed the last 2 holes because it was just kind of exhausting. And it's like the cut wasn't really in reach anymore.
It's a fucking grind.
But that guy's got he's got so much game. So honestly, I didn't notice a difference. Like, some guys hit the ball harder, so it sounds different off the driver, sounds pretty sick. But I was most impressed with Colin. Like, honestly, I really was. It's fun to see the pros and everything, but when you watch him hit the ball, he's no different. He could honestly play on the PGA Tour if he just practiced a little more, maybe did some other things in his lifestyle, but that guy's got a lot of game, and that's what I was really surprised with. So.
That's super cool. Like someone like you got it, like, and I think that's sick.
right, so
Dude,
from your perspective, though, not
Mhm.
comparing them to Colin, comparing how you play
Mhm.
to them, to those
Oh,
elite players, where do you see where do you see the big, like, because everybody knows, like, between a 15 and a 10 handicap is okay, but a 10 to a 5 is different, and then a 5 to scratch is like night and day. But we're talking, these guys are like
Yeah.
plus 6s, plus 7s. So where do you
Or
see?
higher,
Yeah.
yeah. So great question. I'm in like the 0 to 5 range, handicap wise, for context. And the biggest difference is going to be their mid and long irons. So they hit their mid irons and long irons as accurately as I hit like an 8-iron. And it's just incredible. And then basically a quick second to that is their fairway woods off the deck. It's insane. Like they'll be 260, 270 out, hitting a 5-wood or a 3-wood, and trying to line it up and hit it in spots where I'm trying to hit like a pitching wedge. And it's just incredible to see that. And even Colin, like, I couldn't believe that. That was the best thing, was seeing how accurate they are throughout the bag, not just, from the scoring irons down to the wedges and but every club in the bag was accurate. And none of them look like they're trying to absolutely smash the ball. They all have perfect tempo. The swing speed is like dialed every swing, and the ball just takes off. And I'm out here swinging as hard as I can, feeling like it's 90%, but it looks like it's 115. And, if I
Ball
catch
going
one, it's
everywhere.
going like 280. Yeah. Yeah. And these
Yeah.
guys are just swinging within themselves, and the ball's flying 300 plus. So that was
Crazy.
a big difference. But yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So Thursday morning, tee time, on the first tee, how were the jitters?
So honestly, we played with space in the names already.
Probably
Who did we
nobody's.
play with?
It's okay.
I can't remember their names. But we walked up to the first tee, and you have to walk over this like big bridge. And so we walked over the bridge, and all I'm thinking to myself, don't trip down the stairs.
Don't fall.
Colin's like, running down the stairs because he's got nothing on his back. I got his 45-pound bag on my back, and I'm like, do I carry it like backpack or do I carry it single? Which way am I not going to trip? So I carried it single strap, I think, down the stairs, and I just walked sideways down them, so I didn't trip. And it was embarrassing, but I didn't care. But we get to the first tee, and they get the announcer, and it's all super official. Welcome to the 2023 PGA Championship. Crowd's like roaring, and there's a billion people watching. I was more nervous than Colin, I think, because he gets up, strikes his ball down the fairway, and he comes over to me. I'm like, dude, I'm so crazy nervous right now. I was like, I don't even know if I can pick up your bag. And he's like, are you really? And I was like, dude, this is insane. I was like, I would never in a million weird years dream of being here inside the ropes, holding a bag of someone playing in this tournament.
That's so good.
And that's when it really hit me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was so nervous. Like I had to watch how I walked down the stairs that nervous.
That's so good.
It's so
yeah.
awesome, man. I'm so happy for you. Like such a cool moment for you in your life. Like it's so cool.
Just for
Yeah,
reference, you played
definitely.
with Adam Shank and
Yep.
Tristan Lawrence.
Yeah. So Adam Shank and Tristan Lawrence, thank you. And
That's why he's
both
stat
are
guy.
sticks. So Adam Shank hits the ball super hard. I mean, he's probably 180 ball speed or higher. And then Tristan is probably closer to Colin's ball speed, which is probably like, low 170s, something like that. But Adam had probably not his best week, and he'd probably admit that. He didn't score very well. It was just a tough course. But Tristan didn't have his best stuff either, but that guy has the best short game that I've ever seen in my life. He hit a shot on 17, and he was right above the cut line. He was at, I think, +3 or +4, and the cut was +5. And he hit his drive left, had to punch out, and he literally hit it maybe 120, 130 yards, and he had probably like 90 yards left. And the pin is tucked over a bunker on the left. And Colin had just hit his lob wedge over and hit it to like 15 feet when he did that for par. He gets up there, and we're all waiting for the ball just to kind of fly over our head. I look over, and the ball's like going by my eyes. He hits like a bump and run from 90 yards out to like 10 feet, drains his par putt.
Oh shit.
Just incredible imagination. Dude, I was like, where did that come from? But he had the best short game I've ever seen. And his bunker play, he had so many long bunker shots. He would just fly him to the hole and just rip him back and stop him within like 5 feet. It was
So cool.
beyond anything I've ever seen short game wise.
So
it was insane.
How were the bunkers? I mean, on an elite event like this, they have to be perfect.
They were absolutely perfect. I was actually pretty horrified raking them. The first couple times I raked the bunker. No, I had a couple lessons on ranking bunkers, and I'm not a hack at it, but I got out of the bunker on one of these holes on the first day, and I looked at Colin. I started laughing. He's like, "You fucked up the bunker, didn't you?" I was like, "Dude, go look at it." He's like, "That is trash." And so it was just bad. I told him the whole tournament. I was like, "Dude, I just messed up that bunker too." But I did my best. But yeah, dude, the bunkers were they were pristine but super soft. And you put too much pressure on that rake, you're just digging out all of the sand. And so it was a challenge. But yeah, perfect bunkers, perfect sand.
Oh, I could just see.
So you're watching YouTube videos about how to rake a bunker, I'm sure, because that would be one of my main things. I'm like, I got to make sure this bunker's raked perfectly.
If it would show you guys on my YouTube, I saved videos for the plane on how to rake it.
That's so awesome.
Yes,
I did.
I would have done the same shit for sure.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the presser afterwards? Whoever raked that bunker in front of us is a piece of shit. I had a great line.
That would have been
PGA.
That would have been me.
PGA champ players caddy rakes bunker terribly.
Yeah. Oh, I fully admit it. I am not great at raking bunkers.
Was that Corey Connors and Victor Hovland? Is that why they shanked it in, or they stuck it into the lip because you raked that bunker?
No, that wasn't my bunker, luckily. But yeah, that's funny.
Did you see that bunker that they hit into the lip? Like, how crazy were the bunkers? Because most of the time we're not seeing like grass overgrown into the bunker, like that situation with Corey Connors and Victor Hovland, where it was embedded just above the grass. Like, and Victor Hovland hit a 9-iron out of there, and it didn't look like he bladed it to me, but that was a wild shot. That was a really wild shot to me. I know it was below his feet, but man, and that thing just embedded. Like, those bunkers looked so cool on TV though, like how because we don't have that out here in Vegas. Like, that does not exist, or even in Oregon. There's nothing that
we don't
that grows over the side. Like, it looks like it's its own microclimate in there. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't see those shots, but it doesn't surprise me because the bunkers, the lips on all the bunkers were tall. Hole 2 had the whole left side and right side of the green were surrounded by bunkers that were probably 10 feet deep. And so if you're in them, they're only 6 feet wide, but it was 20 feet long and then 10 feet deep to get onto the level of the green. I mean, you hardly had a backswing in that bunker.
Wow.
I called them the coffin bunkers. I told Colin if I got in it, I'd probably just have to pitch it back out into the fairway and be able to get it on the green.
Coffin bunker.
But yeah, I mean, the bunkers were insanely deep, every single one. It almost felt like the lips on all the bunkers were 3-5 feet at the least, and then higher, all the way up to 10, 12 feet. Yeah, it was brutal. It's honestly the hardest golf course that I've ever seen, and Colin said the same thing. And he's played a lot more courses than I have. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you think the member play is there? Could you handle playing that course every day?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that the rough isn't what it was. But
that's probably true.
I mean, playing from the up tees where the members would more likely play, it would be a fun course. It's not impossible, right? But the way they had it set up, it was like US Open rough. And that was what Webb Simpson was saying, was that this is rough that you normally don't see. And it was just something that is normally not a PGA championship style setting, but it was more US Open. And it was pretty brutal. But
yeah, it felt like a US Open watching it.
Totally did.
Oh yeah,
I liked it. I liked that they're getting the PGA Championships getting tougher and tougher. It seems like every year, which I think is good. Closing the gap between the US Open.
I think, wasn't it Scheffler that said that hole 6 was the hardest par 4 he's ever played?
Yeah.
And we played hole 6 in 3 over par in 2 days, and That's the whole Tom Kim went into his stomach in the mud. I mean, that
Yep.
whole, so on TV, you guys can see it, but basically you're teeing off and you can't see the water on the right from the tee box. And all you're aiming at is this bunker straight ahead. And the bunker's like 310 out. So everybody there can reach that bunker with a driver. But if you don't hit driver, then you've got 260, 270 into a par 4 guarded by water left and this giant bunker right and more water. And so it's like
Yeah.
you have no option but to hit driver. And it always
Yeah,
felt
you
like
have
the
to hit
wind was
driver.
coming straight into your face. And it's just the first day we hit a perfect drive and we had 240 or 230 in, hit a little
Jesus.
hybrid, and the wind took it and it just splashed in the hazard. And then we failed to get up and down and we got a double. But day 2, we were rolling, playing a lot better, as you can tell by the score.
Yeah.
He leaked it right, went in the hazard. We got up and down for bogey though, which was incredible after we got down there. But it was such a hard hole because you can't
Yeah.
see where to land the ball. That was the hardest part.
How cool was 14? Because on TV, it was freaking spectacular.
It's a good hole. I mean, it rivals
Hole
it
14.
rivals Riviera. I
The
mean,
drivable par 4.
they made it rival
Yeah.
Riviera.
Hole 14 was pretty sick. It's straight uphill. I think it was probably like a 310 carry to hit the surface from the tee box where it was for the 2 days we played it. It looks like they played it up a little more on day 3, day 4, but we hit driver every day and we would roll it up to like the top and then it would roll back down like 50
Donnie
yards.
Ross, you got Donnied. That's fucking Donnie
and
Ross.
we weren't
man,
even in
that
there. We weren't
dick.
even on the green. We were in the fairway.
Yeah.
And so, but we birdied it both days. So it's a gettable hole. But most of the guys that are longer hitters were hitting it like short of the green in the rough, which I thought was kind of a tougher lie.
Yeah, they saying
but
that
it was a really
they were aiming
good
for the
hard
bunkers.
hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the bunkers were the best place to be because they're so pure.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the guys in our group, won't say his name, he snap hooked it out of bounds on day 2, and he had to play his provisional, and it's definitely a hard hole. But Colin played it really well both days. It's just really long because it's straight uphill.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool hole for sure.
And plateau green, like just sitting on a perch, Have you ever?
And if you go
have
over
you played?
it, runs off into death.
Yeah, totally. And Brooks got really lucky that day, I think,
Mhm.
on the final round because it was close to going down to the runoff area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It stayed popped up on that fringe.
Have you played much Donald Ross in your life?
No, that was actually to my knowledge, the first course where I've seen Donald Ross greens, and those were insane.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. Those greens, how crazy, like drastic situation. Like, I mean, something in your area, like Old Mac, like pretty crazy, like undulation. But like Donald Ross greens, I played a couple of them, taking our trip down to North Carolina. Like Donald Ross greens are insane, and it's tricky. It's tricky, and I want to see what you think about Donald Ross greens.
Yeah, no, they are extremely challenging because I've never seen so many runoffs in my life. Every green was like susceptible to, if you go 2 yards too far, now you're 50 feet from the hole from where you were, or 50 feet from where you landed. And for a golfer like myself, that's crazy intimidating because the fringe lines and the first cut of rough was cut so thin. You're going to have to be using the bounce, and if you catch it anywhere skinny or chunky fat, it's just going to go 2 feet or it's going to go 100 feet, right? So you have to be really, really precise. And that's another thing. Like the pros are just so good with their short game, as we all know that. But
so good.
Those greens are crazy, and I've never seen so many runoffs. They were pure. They putted absolutely perfect. What I liked about them was when you looked at a putt and you saw it going left, it went left. They weren't like tricky where they were breaking the wrong ways. They were very true, but I mean, getting your ball to stop on those greens at times was a little bit challenging. They were playing really, really hard and fast.
Yeah, that's the thing about like Donald Ross. Like, I mean, we were calling it Donnie when we took our trip, and it's just like run off, like turtleback, like hit your spot or else you're fucked. Like because there ain't nowhere to miss next to this hole.
Yep. Yeah, it was really challenging. Those greens are tough.
Did you get to hit any shots out there?
I hit a couple putts. That was it. I didn't really want to embarrass myself on the golf course, but I also didn't want to take a giant, chunk of perfectly cut fairway or rough
put that
somewhere.
in the bag and bring it home.
Yeah, Ziploc
Hang
bag,
that shit
put
on
it
the
in the
wall.
backyard. It'd grow really good in Eugene.
I would take a big, huge long cock out of there and just stick it. Hey, I know the bag's going to be dirty for a couple hours until I get back to the store to pick up a Ziploc bag, but this fucker's coming home with me.
No. I did not embarrass myself by hitting any shots, but
that's too funny.
It was fun.
So, Todd, you get special privileges. We're going to let you come play this golf course on Monday. What do you shoot?
So it's funny. We were talking about that all week. Me in my prime, like when I'm playing good and playing a lot, I'm scratch. Right now, I'm probably like 3 to 5, something like that. If I'm playing really good and I go to Emerald Valley, my home course, I'm shooting 2 under. If I go to Oak Hill in those conditions when it's sunny, not rainy like Friday, so good weather, I'm shooting probably 90 to 100.
Wow.
I would consider 89 being like 2 under par for me.
Yeah, wow.
That course was so hard, not only visually intimidating, but every hole was different, which is really cool about the course. But I mean, if you're anywhere in that rough, you're hacking it out. And I don't have the skill to get it, hit a 9-iron 130 yards precise and roll it up the green. I mean, I'm probably just going to hit a sand wedge and try to get myself back in the fairway. It is brutal.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably 90 to 100, honestly.
I mean, I know you took a picture with Roger Steele. I saw that one, and I think I saw Roger try and hit something out of the rough, and it went like 20 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
he's
rough
a big guy.
looks insane.
He's a big guy. Yeah, he's powerful. He's got some muscle.
I was blown away with the play out of the rough by some of the guys.
100%.
Like, unbelievable the amount, because I mean, just here at Revere, they got thick rough, and I just am trash out of it. So it's so much respect for those guys to be able to have that strength and control that club face the way they do in that stuff.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Todd, since you were playing with a PGA pro. So out of the rough, how did he handle hitting out of the rough? Like, because he obviously hit pretty damn well out of the rough, Like, what do you set it back?
Yeah.
Do you hit down on it? What do you do?
So he put it back in his stance just a little bit. I think he opened the club face a little bit. But he just had a really fortunate week where we didn't find too much deep rough. And if we did, we kind of took our medicine and punched it out. He and I are kind of, he's not like super strong like Roger Steele, or a John Rahm or something like that. But and he doesn't have the attack angle of a Scheffler where he hits down on it a lot. Colin has a more shallow attack angle, takes a tiny divot, doesn't take big chunks. And so he had a lot of stuff working against him because obviously you want to go in more steep. But, we hit a lot of good shots, but it definitely came out flat and knuckly. It was something where if your ball was sitting down, you weren't going to stop it. So we just took our medicine and punched it out. We didn't really go for it if you had a bad lie. But
I mean, like you said, knuckly.
Yeah, I mean,
like some of these guys, like how they hit some of those shots out of that rough, like I don't know how it didn't knuckle as much as it should have, like and it's crazy. Like the pros, like the difference, it's just insane. Like they know what to do. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason I'd shoot 100. It's the rough, and
100%.
I would be finding the left rough mainly, and it would be brutal. So, yeah.
All right, so does Colin have? Did he do a U.S. Open qualifier? Is he trying to get into the U.S. Open?
So he gets exempt to the final stage, and that's June 5th up in Tacoma, Washington. So he'll go up there and try to qualify. And if he qualifies, I'll be on the bag for the U.S. Open. I think he and I learned, and I think he actually has a lot of confidence in me, which felt really good. Because the whole time you're hoping, I don't want to mess this guy up. This guy's playing for his career, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything to jeopardize him being successful. And yeah, at the end of the round, he shot me a text last night, and after we got home, and he's like, "Hey, want to let you know, had an incredible time. You're an amazing caddy." And he goes, "Thanks for caddying for me. It was one of the best weeks of my life." And I was just like, "Oh,
It's awesome.
good," because I'm flying home, and we go our separate ways, and I'm like, I hope I didn't do anything that like upset him or made the week bad for him. I tried to pay for the guy's meals every night, which he was like, "No, I'm paying," and I was like, "No, I'm paying for everything." And so I really just wanted him to focus on golf and nothing else. And it was a blast. But yeah, no, I think it's still like really fresh in the mind, and my brain is still kind of confused on everything. It doesn't feel real. I can't even explain it. It was a crazy experience.
So cool. Well,
That's
so
so
you're talking about picking up tabs and shit. What did you drop in the pro shop? Did you get anything?
Oh yeah. So we got Caddy's got like a 30%. We got like a 30% discount.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And I think I spent. Yeah. I think I spent. So I went 3 times, and it was like $500 the first day. So I probably spent about $800 in there. That's after discount. But I mean,
would have done the same.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I have so much Sankey head stuff from the Mid-Am just because I was like, I'm never gonna get this opportunity again. Let's go. It's so much cool stuff. So, that's awesome. All right, so hey, we're gonna take a quick break, and you'll enjoy this because you actually know this guy. We got a little weather report for the Valley.
What's up, guys? Mac on Tark back again with the Chasing Daylight podcast. Hope you're all having a great week so far. I know it's been pretty scorching hot lately here in Las Vegas, but it only looks better heading into the weekend, believe it or not. We've had rain chances over the last several days, but Saturday and Sunday actually looking mostly sunny. A few clouds from time to time and a little breeze, but not going to see a strong wind. Temperature-wise, 92 degrees Saturday and Sunday, so very seasonable for the end of May. Should be a beautiful weekend to get out for a round of golf, maybe even a little practice around the range, too. Don't have to worry about some strong wind. We'll get a few gusts, 20 to 30 miles per hour, but for the most part, we're looking at 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. Have a great rest of the week.
Oh, Matty G.
Matt's a great guy.
You could tell. Guy. Oh, I love that man. You could tell he's kind of new to the Valley because it hasn't been scorching at all. It's been finally warm.
Yeah. Well, he was in Oregon for a while.
The scorching is coming. Yeah.
90's hot for Oregon. So
the scorching is coming. He's gonna be like, I'm dying this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you wake up and it's 98 at 5 a.m, then it's scorching. So, thanks for that, Matt. So let's do a little. Todd, thank you so much again for chatting all about this. I mean, great insight. We absolutely love it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Stay on and hang out with us while we take care of typical normal business. And please, if you got anything to say, chime in, speak up. Don't feel like you have to just sit there. So our picks for this last week didn't go quite so well, but Joe, oops, what
did I do?
You hang on one second here. You hey you guys. Actually, it was Jeremy that I was gonna say first. It was this. And this just isn't a Jeremy rat fart. This is a all of us rat fart, except you, Todd, because you weren't there. You picked Dustin Johnson. Dustin Johnson's not on the PGA Tour. So
yeah,
you didn't get any points.
Wow. Okay.
After yes.
Yeah, that's a big.
That was really dumb.
Yeah, you didn't.
I didn't even think
about
that till after.
Nobody thought about it. Clearly,
I was just being quiet because Jeremy don't need no more points.
Yeah.
I was just giving you guys a little freebie,
there. Well, Joe picked Cam Young, who.
Man, I saw him doing way differently.
Wowie! Did he not play well?
He had the lefts, man. He had pretty bad lefts.
But Roars was on, and we have kind of a rule, and I don't think we've ever invoked this rule. If one of the players we pick doesn't make the cut, then Roars pick, and he picked Scotty.
So that's me.
So what? That's you. Yeah, you got Scheffler's points. So you got 300 points.
That makes sense because I put Scheffler in the Birdies and Bourbon group, so I won that one. So points.
So you won the week with that pick. I came in second with Cantley, and Jeremy got nothing for Dustin Johnson.
I don't even remember where DJ finished, to be honest. He was looking good early, but
let's give Jeremy 1 point. Can we give Jeremy 1 point?
1 point? Yes,
okay.
I will give
that
him
makes fair. I think that's
1 point. There you go. You got 1 point.
So generous.
I hope you win by 1 point now.
I may.
So I have, let's see, I'm in second place. I'm 461 points behind you. Joe is 640 points behind you. So it's getting a little bit closer as we come down to the wire. We got 2 designated events left, the Memorial and the Travelers. And then it's getting close to, we got...
I'm picking Michael Block every round.
Everywhere he gets a sponsor's exemption, Joe's picking him.
So, and you mentioned Birdies and Bourbon. This is some breaking news. We have almost caught them.
Thank you, Joe.
Close. Yeah,
yes, Joe's had a couple good picks. Cantley got me some decent dollars. Cal and Dan did not have a good week. So we are now, at one point, I think we were 6 million behind.
Mm-hmm.
We are $239,000 behind now.
Yeah, that's what you get when you pick the fucking players beforehand, before major time.
I don't remember who did they.
And
have?
Cal's in Vegas this weekend. Just so
I sent him a message and he said,
I talked to him.
Thinking.
He said he's got a lot of stuff going on supposedly.
Okay.
Cal.
I see how it is. All right, so let's see what. The Bank of Hope. Bank of Hope is coming this week out at Shadow Creek, which is going to be, it's a match play event for the LPGA.
That's this weekend.
It's this weekend.
Wow.
Yep. I was looking to see who. There's quite a few players good players that are in this. Brooke Henderson, Jennifer Cupco, Gabby Lopez, Jody Swart. There's so many players that I just can't pronounce her name. But Daniel Kang, Dana Fall is not in it right now. She is currently the 10th reserve. So 10 players got to withdraw from this. But nice to see a better field this time. It's used to be right before the Women's US Open. And so a lot of players did not come playing it because they didn't want to, play Shadow Creek and get their asses handed to them and then go to a completely different course. So it should be a good event. I'm still waiting for our media passes to see if we can get out there this weekend and watch some of it because, Shadow's just amazing. And with a better field, it's definitely something to take a look at if you're in town. It's going to be on Golf Channel in the afternoons on tape delay. I'm sure. I don't know if they'll do much live, but looking forward to that. And then we have, is there a live event this weekend? Is there?
I can't remember if it's this week or next.
Todd,
week.
what's your opinion on live?
Probably the unpopular one. I actually don't care. So I think that live golf is boring as hell. I've watched a couple YouTube things and it just puts me to sleep. Now they're on somewhere on. I don't even know where you can watch it. I don't care. I don't think that the animosity around it is as big as it is played out to be. And again, I don't have the inside look, so there may be some stuff that's not cool, but I just like watching golf. I love golf. I'm sad that some of the guys that went to live aren't able to play in some of the tournaments now. That's what's been the biggest bummer for me. But as a fan of golf and not a fan of politics of golf, I just miss seeing, DJ and Brooks and, some of those guys that were just starting to hit their stride. Cam Smith, I can't believe he went.
So
That's some of the
surprised.
stuff that's crazy to me. But yeah, I really don't care. I mean, I think they're playing where they want to play. Hopefully they're doing it for their families and, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't think it's a big deal.
Honestly, I think you could put Todd's exactly what he said on a T-shirt, and that would
Yeah.
be
Yep.
80% of the people that love golf's opinion on it.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
I feel the same way. I love golf. I can't. It's so hard to watch that product though.
It's
man.
tough.
I
It's
want to
boring.
see those
It's
guys.
boring.
I want to see them play.
Yeah.
They're at Trump National in
Yeah, this
DC
week,
this
yep.
weekend. So
Mm.
got that. Let's see. And then the PGA Tour, Charles Schwab Challenge.
Yeah, man.
Every year they restore a vehicle and give it to the winner. And this year it is a
It's going to Michael
1973
Block.
Ford Bronco. So that is cool. Another 7,200 yard par 70 golf course. Colonial's good every year. This is the 78th year that they've played this event at this golf course. It's the longest running non-major at the same golf course. Architects John, I can't even read my writing. Never mind. Perry Maxwell and some John guy. Let's see.
John Colonial.
Oh, they are. Gil Hans is actually renovating Colonial.
Yeah, hey.
$20 million renovation taking place as soon as the tournament ends. So
Nice. Good for
that's
Hans.
that'll be interesting to see what this place looks like
really
next
fucking
year.
excited for is Frisco. Like Gil Hans.
Yeah.
What he did out of Frisco. Like, I
It was
can't wait to
amazing.
see that shit. And the senior championship's playing
Yep.
at Frisco this weekend. Like,
Mhm.
I want to watch that. Hopefully I
Do-
can catch it
you know
on
what?
TV.
Listening to the No Laying Up guys after Quail Hollow, they were like, I'm just burnt out on Quail Hollow. We had the President's Cup, and then we have the Wells Fargo every year, and they have majors. Yeah, Quail Hollow's at the PGA Championship in a couple years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like, good Lord, can we get some other places in? And then they
so
go
many
to Frisco.
courses. There's so many
Yeah.
places.
Yeah, it's
There's a
but I
lot of
agree with
places.
them right now. Quail Hollow is kind of getting a lot of play of late. So, Joe, get rid of the odds ready. We'll go down that in a minute, but I want to do a little, not a little trivia. Just what do you guys of the four UNLV, the young four UNLV players on tour right now? Harry Hall, Taylor Montgomery, Kurt Kitayama, and Garrick Higo. Money leaders. Who do you think's
Kurt.
leading the Kurt? Okay, that's right.
And then Taylor.
No. Garrick Higo. And then Taylor, then Harry. So how much do you think Kurt has taken home this year? Sorry, Mr. Oregon Duck. This is a Vegas based podcast, so we tout our UNLV guys.
Hey, Kurt's caddy is an Oregon guy, so that's cool. I'll take that.
Okay, cool. There you go.
I'm gonna go 4 million.
For Kurt?
Yep.
You would be wrong.
Like too low or too high?
I got it way too low. There's the buzzer. Yeah, 9.1 he's brought home. Remember, he did win a designated
that's
event.
right. He did. That was
Arnold Palmer.
designated. Yes.
Yeah, and
Wow.
he finished high in this event. So 9.1. So Garrick Higo is second. What do you think his earnings are this year?
4 million.
3.1, not bad. Taylor Montgomery is at 2.6, and Harry is $7,494 away from making $1 million.
Nice. He's gonna do it.
He's teeing it up this week. So
Oh yeah.
hopefully the big skies in Texas and the big course, he can bomb it down there. Did you see his post that he did on Instagram after playing at the Wells Fargo? Did you see it, Joe? Are you ignoring us, Joe? You're on mute, buddy.
Hey, I heard it. All right. I was just looking at it. I'm just trying to get these odds going.
Okay.
I thought Luke Donald's reply was cool. It's always good to
Yes.
see some of those guys,
Respond.
and
to
probably Harry probably loves seeing that too.
them. Oh,
But
they're
yeah,
probably
I mean that's
friends.
a vulnerable post, and It's probably the majority of the guys that are in the same situation have to feel the same way.
I'm curious exactly what he's going to change, because he's a very mental golfer. He's got great physical abilities, and I'm curious what his approach is going to be. I wanted to get him on this week because I know he wasn't playing, but maybe I'll reach out to him, see if next time he's in town, we'll get him back on and talk about his season so far this year and what's going on. I'm curious to see if that transfers to some good play this week from Mr. Hall, Double H. All right, Joe, let's get these odds.
Yo, all right. We're out at Colonial this week. Your favorite is Michael Block at 1-1. Kidding. Scotty Scheffler is your favorite, 4.5-1. Victor Hovland, 12-1. Tony Finau, 14-1. Colin Morikawa, 16-1, along with Jordan Spieth. Sung Jae, Max Homa, 20-1. Sam Burns, Justin Rose, 25-1. Ricky Fowler, 28-1. Tommy Sweet Swinging Fleetwood, 33-1. Chris Kirk, 35-1, along with the field. Cam Davis, 35-1. Russell Henley, 40-1. Siwoo Kim, 45-1. Kurt Kitayama, UNLV rep, 50-1. Minwoo Lee. Man, Minwoo Lee really disappointed me this past weekend. I thought he was going to win it.
Oh, you had a really good chance.
But he came in there stunting, and he'll probably win this week, which is cool. I don't mind when Minwoo Lee, Australian, Asian, like, dude has some swagger. I love him. 55-1. Let's go down to Tom Hoagie, 65-1. Ping rep. Ryan Fox, 75-1. Ryan Palmer, 90-1. Lee Hodges, 100-1. I just really want to find Michael Block in this odds because I'm curious.
He's not going to be on there.
I wish they need to get him on here because I'm putting $5 on him because the magic continues. Welcome to Blockland.
No Lane Up Data Golf has Block finishing last.
All the way at the bottom is Zach Johnson, Henrik Norlander, Peter Malnati, and Michael Block at 350-1. Let's go. $5.
350, really?
Yes.
That's kind of high. I thought he would be lower than that.
Dude, he moved up like what, 1,200 spots in the world ranking?
He'd be leading the VGN world rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he's not gonna win, man. But we all love a story. We all love emotional moments. Like it's a Tin Cup moment. It's
when Amanda Balionis was interviewing him, and they said that his son took the video, and his son told him that it was the greatest moment in his life. I love to see people cry on TV. My wife was crying, and I looked at her and I go, "This is why golf is awesome. This is why golf is. I quit hating on my game. This is why golf is awesome."
It was incredible, man.
But she's a big Brooks Koepka fan now.
I will say that I like Brooks Koepka a little bit more than I used to.
Mm-hmm. I liked him more after the.
Did you watch Full Swing, Todd? I know you did. Of course you did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
What did you think about the Brooks episode?
So actually, I a lot of people kind of hated him after it. I actually liked him more after that episode.
Same
here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And funny thing about Full Swing, they were actually there at the PGA, so the Netflix directors recording, and they followed Colin and I around for like one hole. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know if we'll be in it, but it was kind of funny.
Hope you are. Give me sick. Get the royalties.
Maybe they'll show
I did see like a meme where someone said like somebody better get this Michael Block episode going on Full Swing, and someone commented like we're on it.
Yeah, it's in the works or something. Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be an amazing story.
Because I would assume Netflix knows, like, get your cameras out there for the majors, so.
All right. So the heartfelt pick is Michael Block, but you're not picking him for the
Oh, no, that was a joke. But I'm putting money on him.
Okay, you can
put $5 on him.
Who is your pick for this week?
Oh, it's my first pick.
Yeah, right. Your first pick through Roars.
Through Roars. It's like shout out Neil.
Joe has a first pick acquired by trade through a shitty pick.
Sounds like the NHL with shout out Knights 2-0. What up? Let's go. It's gonna be Knights in Florida, the Stanley Cup, and we're gonna bring it home.
What happened in that game tonight? I didn't even look. Have you looked?
Florida won 1-0.
Wow, that is insane.
I'm just gonna ride the wave, and I'm just gonna go shout out my man with the fucking mirror glasses, Aussie sun-baked tan, track man Holden ass motherfucker Minwoo Lee. Let's go. 55-1.
55-1.
Whoa.
Wow.
Full
Okay.
surfing through Colonial. Let's go.
Okay. I'm going to take nobody has defended their title at Colonial since
Not gonna be as
Ben
cool as my
Hogan.
pick, that's for sure.
I'm so sorry. Back-to-back restored vehicles for Sam Burns.
That's the second week in a row you've chosen
That's
the pick I
25-1.
was going with.
Really?
Yeah.
25-1, Joe?
Yep.
Okay. In the bonus, too. Well, Jeremy, you've got a knack for picking the person who wins the week before they win. So
Yeah, that's
everybody
true.
bet DJ and DC this weekend.
Back to back. Let's go Mr. BB Go himself, Sung JM. Only because Todd mentioned that he played. He saw him there. So
True. Where is?
Yeah, we played with him. We played with him for
He's
9
going to be
holes.
near the top.
we follow him at TPC Summerlin. He's a really fun guy to watch because his swing is so different. But man,
He literally
he's
plays
very
the most
in
of
control.
anyone on tour.
Yeah.
His backswing is like if you took the club back and he got stuck in the grass at one point, and you're like, "Oh shit, what do I do?" That's his backswing.
What's Sanjay's odds?
20-1 for Sungjae.
20-1. All right. That's all I got, man. Hey, Todd, thank you so much for coming on, man. Absolutely incredible experience. I'm honored that you let us pick your brain about it. It was fun seeing you on TV. On the couple times, especially Thursday morning, because you guys were off early, and so you had some camera footage there.
Oh, nice.
It was, I'm like, I told my kids were getting ready to go to school. I'm like, hey, I know him. I know
That's
that
cool,
guy.
Dad.
Awesome.
I'm gonna be late.
He's in my DMs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
so Joe,
It's been awesome.
great, and give our congratulatory messages to Colin, because it's a feat and an accomplishment to get to
Yeah.
that level.
Totally.
And bummed he didn't make the cut, but from what you're saying, it sounds like he's on a good path. So
Yeah.
it's an awesome story.
Yep.
All right, Joe, take us home.
Yo, this was the Chasing Daylight podcast. As always,
This
thank
guy.
you, Todd. We really appreciate you joining in. Like, so sick. Appreciate your insight. Why are you laughing at me, man?
Dude.
This fucking guy. Hey, anytime you want to come on, Todd, you're welcome. Anytime. Appreciate
Powered
you.
by Riverside
And it's
FM.
obviously powered by Riverside FM, but we'll be out there in Oregon, I know, in 2024 in August for sure, because we're coming to Bannon. We're gonna be out there.
Nice.
Can't wait.
Yes, we are.
Thank you, everybody that listens. Tell your friends, tell your family. We're here every single week. Episodes drop on Wednesdays. We're recording live on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Pacific. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And until then, this is the Chasing Daylight podcast. Shout out Todd PNW. Follow him, Todd_PNW.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Later.